Hello friends, this is Music Man from his man cave, and tonight I want to talk to you about what started me doing this in the first place. Movie critics, top critics, and how I really sense, especially in the last couple of years, there's been a real disconnect between what the average moviegoer like me likes, what I expect when I go to a movie, and what these people to go to the movie and this is malarkey, this is ridiculous. This would never get an Academy Award. Let's talk about it right now. So, Music Man from his man cave, a couple of years ago, I was just like the average Joe. I went to the movies. I was very selective about what movies I went to. I very rarely would go to a bad movie, especially if I didn't want to spend, $15, $20 to watch the movie, because it's expensive to go to the movies. So I went to Man of Steel, and I liked Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan and Goyer's vision. And when I got home, I discovered the critics were just railing on this movie. However, over the years, I've had them recommend some movies that I've literally had to turn off or walk out of the movie theater. Now, there are some people that will not do that, but I will do that. Literally, if a movie is that offensive, didn't really know what I was getting into, I was basically sold a product and I didn't buy it. Yeah, I spent for that matinee $7, but I'm going to walk out. And I've done it. And maybe more people should start doing that and writing back these critics and telling them to get a clue. Now, when I go to a movie, my purpose of going to a movie is for escapism, to get out of the house and to escape the realities of life. Some people's reason for going to a movie may be to embrace reality. They like to watch someone lying dying of cancer and someone feeding them ice chips. They may enjoy that. For me, that is not what a movie is about. That's not really why I go. I come from the era, I think the best era of movies, and that was the 80s. Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. E.T., amazing movie. Blade Runner with Harrison Ford. I mean, they were just kicking them out. They knew how to film action. They were so well made and so impressive in scope, and it's like you've never seen anything like it before. I came from Superman, the movie with Marlon Brando, Christopher Reeve, Gene Hackman, Margot Kidder, Ned Beatty, and the list goes on and on. That's the quality of movies that I'm used to watching. It seems like today that the movie critics have gotten to a point where they want to make a political statement. What political statements are they trying to make? Well, one thing I'll notice, no matter how grotesque or disgusting, sexually disgusting a movie is, for some reason, the top critics, most of the top critics, including like the likes of Roper, encourage you to go to sexually perverse films. Perverse films that are basically an assault to the senses and are just disgusting. Immorally, just immoral. And the question is, why? Why do they want us to go watch this schlock? Schmuck, schlock, call it whatever you want to call it. Well, I just sense that there's a political agenda, because there's really a push. There's a push for the most grotesque, something they haven't seen before, something strange, something not even enjoyable to the average moviegoer. I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark took me back to those Saturday morning cartoons or the Saturday serials I used to enjoy. Star Wars did that. Did Star Wars win the Academy Award the year that it came out? No. Still, they were not taking movies of pop culture seriously. How come movies like Avengers did not win the Academy Award? It sure should have. It brought in the most money. It's held as a great cinematic achievement. Yet, what movie did they pick? They always pick some weird, obtuse movie about someone, that's depressed or insane or an alcoholic or a hustler, or they love war and they get drunk on war and on and on and on. And I'm sorry, but those movies just don't connect with me. That's not why I go to the movies. I don't go to the movies to sit and watch these reality documentaries. So I think there's a battle going on. Really, what is a movie? Is it a documentary? Is it Hoop Dreams? Is it Hurt Locker? Is it Dark 030? Is that really a good movie? Or is a good movie Star Wars? Is it Superman? Is it Indiana Jones? Well, why didn't that win the Academy Award? That movie was a marvel. E.T. And you notice that also I'm talking about movies that have great scores. I mean, John Williams is going to be considered one of the master writers of movie scores coming up in the future. But it's really disturbing to me to look at Rotten Tomatoes and see that people that went to it score a movie like 30%, yet 90% of the critics love it. I'm sorry, critics, top critics. I don't want to go to a movie to watch two Marlboro men sodomizing each other in a tent. That's not good movie viewing experience for me. Okay? And I also notice that the movies I do go and I really just enjoy and think they're a good, and you rate them PG, yet a little boy that thinks he saw a sister in heaven it's a Wonderful Life should be rated R if that was rated PG. The only reason you're rating that PG is because it's against your own beliefs. So you're not being neutral. You're not giving it an even playing field. You're obviously supporting movies that have grotesque sexuality in them, immoral, disgusting behavior by human beings. You love movies that have the most foul of foul language in them, which I find reprehensible. Every night you will give a nod to Disney and the movies that they produce, because they're the only game really in town, aren't they? Watch Space Chimp sometime. And also, there's a pro-homosexual gay agenda. Don't get me wrong here. I don't hate gay people. I have gay students, gay friends, and I love them. We just agreed to disagree. I don't agree with their lifestyle. And so, but obviously Hollywood is pushing a political agenda, a belief system through their films. And that is a real concern for someone like me. That's why I got started doing these movie reviews in the first place. What a disconnect with Man of Steel. We finally get a Man of Steel that really is powerful and really brings down the power, brings the heat. Buildings are crumbling. And then people don't like it. Well, because people discover that the truth is what they really want is a good story, like reading a storybook. Good for you. But I like a good story too. But a good story to me is not watching two lesbian lovers in bed for 2 hours. That's not a good story to me. I don't find that entertaining. A good story to me is not sexual perversion. I'd really like it to be brought to light. Who is the Academy? Because these people must be a bunch of deviants. The movies that they recommend, the movies that they put up for Academy Awards. These movies, most of them are strange, obtuse, and disgusting. I don't know what you see in them, but I tried to watch Taxi Driver and him standing there looking in the mirror. You talking to me? You talking to me? This is good movie going? Now I understand Rocky. It was an underdog story and it was really a great movie. But some of these movies that I watch from back in the day, who's the Academy? Who are these people voting on who's going to receive an Academy Award? And what truly is film art? I'd sure like to know. Because my list of the best 50 movies would be sure different than the Academy's is. They're some really strange stuff and pretty disgusting. Anyway, I'm not buying the top critics anymore.